Hello, it's like in your here to show you that Dora the Explorer, and you see is your retirement fund forever. Coloring here, as you see Dora the Explorer along with the front boots that I went ahead and added right here is you say several say several colorings, several pictures right here of talking about is that getting a retirement fund set up is for Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer is that of course, which I'm sure most of us is like familiar with, like the TV episode Dora the Explorer. Is that on the say Nickelodeon show is that what Dora the Explorer would look like at about age 8 to 10 years old, but part of it with what's shown on here is that with Dora the Explorer is that she would be working like have like a garden of her own where she can grow her own fruits and her own vegetables and wheats and stuff like that. But she would be a lot of times is why with retirement fund nowadays is that you start working at a certain age. It could be whenever you're young. You could it could also include chores around the house, or it could include mowing the lawn, whatever chores that you can think of that maybe your parents had assigned you to do, and then until you got a job later on that we was talking about a job that would actually pay a paycheck, and it's like a paycheck which whatever amount that your earnings were is that you would get paid a big paycheck, and then that paycheck would go into your pockets. It goes into the bank account or whatever it is. But you have it to where you got the fruits right here. You got the variety of fruits. You got the strawberries along with the lettuce, and then along with the carrot, and then along with the bread for wheats, and then you have the right here is a watermelon for the smile for the Dora the Explorer's face. And you got it right here is that you got a birthday cake. It's like a birthday cake, not really, but it's like the day that you were born, but more like a day within. It's like 40 years from now. That if you were to look at in 40 years from now, it'd be retired. It's like a thing about retirement that you would be paying like a certain percentage on your taxes or whatever on each paycheck. That if you notice, if you look at the pay stubs, that most people would probably know what I'm talking about. That certain question at the question mark right there is for so far as documents and pay stubs. Pay stubs, or it could be W-2s or whatever you call it on your tax return. But you have it to where you got these forms, and you had the forms, and a lot of times is that on the forms it talks about how much earnings that you have, and about how much money is deducted from your check, from the state or from the federal government or whatever you call it, and a lot of times is that some of that could be to a retirement fund, or some of it could be to tax or whatever it is, maybe health insurance, including with life insurance as well, maybe car insurance, whatever type of insurance that there is, along with health care, beverages or something like that. But you have it to where you got these forms here, and which I was thinking that adding this right here is a flag tap. It's like a card. It's pretty much a card, which I'm sure they may have them already nowadays. Maybe working into developing them. But the flag tap, where it's a card, kind of like a driver's license, that you can keep in a purse or a wallet or whatever in your pocket. Have it on you whenever needed. But it's like a card, but then it has the information that listed that on the card. And I don't know if it will be an actual plastic hardback card, or it could be like a digital electronic e-reading LED screen or whatever it is that shows your information on there, and you have it to where you have access to about 40 years of your work experience. And it's like the stars would represent is that how many about the steps it takes into getting something done. Is maybe by the time you're younger, is that needs to take steps 1, 2, and 3 whenever you're younger. That you don't know what's getting done, or if you are making enough or whatever it is. But whenever you're younger, that you start working, and then you pause for a few months to a year or something like that, and then you start working again. But then of course, whenever you start working again, that you have it to where file your taxes, and then they see this information. But of course, this information right here, if there was such thing as a device called a flag tap, that this information will be accessed for only you. That you would have like settings, security settings, so far as like you got maybe security question, or it could be something that maybe reading the fingerprints, as that you may, which I'm sure most people have heard that some devices may even ask for a fingerprint. They have it to where the flag tap would be able to read the fingertips of just by pushing pushing a button or whatever you call it. But nowadays, with technology nowadays, that it's like you just don't know really what's out there. But so far, he's got the cake right here, and there's like many layers of the birthday cake. It's like birthday cake for retirement. That you have it to where the place where you can begin. The place where you can begin, more like, would probably be is like on the top, and you work your way towards the center. Work your way towards the center, and that work your way towards the center is bringing in the cash, including with the rubber band, that the big round of cash that stretches the rubber band until it equals to a full amount of benefits, full amount of let's say other than a loan, but a full amount of a fund, for a retirement fund. And then it's like, of course, it's like you bring in enough money as you can while you're working, from whenever you're young to whenever you get older. And then a lot of times it's like, if that those benefits or whatever are still going to be there whenever you get older, more likely they are. I don't know if it will be against the law, if they just vanish somewhere. But anyway, it's like this. Like, you may think that it's a piece of cake to be able to do all this, including grow a garden and then maybe get all this stuff set up. But in a lot of ways, it is hard work in a lot of ways. But you have it to where you got the 3 stars right there, and then you have the silver star is like for an A. It's like you give yourself a silver star for however long. It's like so far as it's like you say this, like the checkpoint. It's like the starter point would be right here, and then you have the long road ahead. You got the long road, and then maybe a few curves or whatever, and then that's your finishing point. It's like within about 20 or 30 years from now, this is how far you get. For it's like so far as for benefits goes. So far as for retirement fund forever, and along with the birthday cake, and along with the documents, it's like with your information about your work history, and along with the garden, and along with the piece of cake, and along with the star, for the A, and along with it's like this, like for the fruit and vegetable garden, and for Dora the Explorer, like the young Dora the Explorer, from young to old. And then along with boots and so forth, Dora the Explorer, Retirement Fund Forever Coloring.